Welcome to Module 2, Video 4, which is about conflict, and I'm here with Sam and Shane. They are my husband and my niece and nephew, and they're also neighbors of ours. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
We are good.
Good, okay, we're going to start with the game. Go back to back. You can even lean on each other if you want.
Okay.
All right. So once again, this is about conflict, and I'd like you to raise your hand if your spouse has ever done the following things during a conflict. Raise your hand if he or she has ever seen him or herself as totally right and you as totally wrong. How about if your spouse acted like they knew they were wrong, but just doesn't want you to win, so won't admit it? Okay, sometimes people have sort of subtle ways of letting you know that they're going to make you pay if you don't do what they want. Has this ever happened with your spouse? Raise your hand if your spouse has ever gone off on tangents during a conflict, like talking about things in the past or unrelated things that are happening right now. People have different styles of dealing with conflict. Tell me if your partner has ever done one of the following. Avoided a conflict altogether. How about acted so indirect about the conflict that you really didn't pick up that anything was wrong? How about acted in a way that was passive-aggressive and done things like not really talking to you about the conflict, but maybe talking to others, or disguising the anger, but making snarky comments, things like that. How about something like yelled, called you a name, threw something, slammed a door, anything like that? Okay, you can turn around and face the camera. That was interesting.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right, so let's answer some questions. What is a typical conflict like for you? But first of all, how long have you been married?
Oh, I'm approaching 10 years.
Okay. What's a typical conflict like for you? How do you act? How does your spouse act?
Do you want me to go first?
Please.
Okay. I am usually a little bit more inward with conflict. I don't like to just blurt things out. I stew things on the inside, and then eventually it will just show on my face. And then he'll ask me what's wrong, and then that's when we kind of go about it. In the past, I was probably way more quiet, but I think throughout the last 10 years, I've gotten a little more bold in just saying, what comes to my mind and to my heart. So, what about you?
Matters on the situation. If it's something small, I don't pay much attention to it or try not to. If it's something serious, then more or less, then yeah, I'll be more aggressive and trying to figure out what the problem is.
Okay. Does your way of handling conflict reflect the way your parents handled it? Like, Sam, how much are you like your parents? Shane, how much are you like your parents?
I don't.
Not at all?
I don't think
Okay.
so.
No.
Interesting.
No, I think I learned a lot from watching the conflicts that my parents had and the way that they dealt with it. They have been married now over, my goodness, is it 30 years?
39, I think.
40 years. But there has been a lot of conflict in those 40 years that I got to witness, and I knew growing up that I didn't want to handle it the way that they handled it. And I think you could probably say the same.
I could say we handle things differently. I mean, my parents usually handled their fights pretty well, but I think we have our own way of doing things and how our parents did them.
Yeah.
That's good. Has the way you handled conflict now changed from when you got married?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, I think actually our very first fight,
Yes.
I don't even remember what it was about, but I remember it made him more mad that I wouldn't vocalize what was wrong. I just completely shut down. And he was used to a back and forth, like a fight, words exchanged, and I was too probably insecure in myself. So I would just completely shut down and not want to say anything. And the more that angered him, then the more I shut down. And then it was just this vicious circle. But throughout the years, I've learned that that's not the way that I need to communicate with him, and it doesn't fix anything. So I've become.
If she has a problem, she'll tell me.
Yes. How about you?
Exactly what you said. I mean.
But how did you handle it in the beginning versus now?
Oh, I think I was a little bit more aggressive in the beginning than what I am now. I've learned to calm down. Not that I was some angry, nasty person, but I've learned to choose my words and, not make it into a bigger situation than it needs to be.
So now, how do you sort things out? Like, do you have any techniques or styles or anything like that?
For me, I like to ask a lot of questions and then just listen for the answers and give him kind of a chance to clarify, because there's usually a good chance that I misunderstood something or took something the wrong way. So while I'm dwelling in kind of my inward silence before a conflict, I'll kind of think of things that I can ask him to make sure that I'm not in the wrong to begin with, or like that I haven't blown something out of proportion. So I just ask questions and then try to listen and not get overheated. We also handle everything apart from our children, so that they don't need to be witness to any of that. We have never one time had an argument in front of our girls.
Nope.
What advice would you have then for dealing with conflict for somebody who is, let's say, kind of at the beginning of a relationship?
To be honest with one another, and maybe if it's something small to your partner, but it might not be to you. So talking and verbalizing everything, not holding anything in, would be a good way to start.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I get really into learning about the love languages and knowing, like, just the way that the things that are important to him in communication might not be the same that are important to me. So I had to learn what he appreciates, and he's had to learn, I'm very sensitive. And he's maybe didn't grow up being as sensitive as me. So we've learned that kind of exchange to talk to each other in the way that we need to. So that would be my advice, is learn enough about the other person and how they need to be communicated to.
That was great, you guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
welcome.
We're here with Lacey. Lacey, how old are you?
I'm 9.
You just turned 9, right? Okay. Could you tell us what communication is?
It's like talking to someone rather like just like randomly saying words or like making face emotions.
Okay. So speaking of face emotions, facial expressions, our facial expressions change our communication, right? They change the message. Could you show me what it would look like if you were disgusted? Very good. How about really happy?
Yay.
Yay. How about surprised? Good. Okay. If two people are talking, what can they do to make things better?
Like say nice things and not like rude things.
Okay. Anything else?
Make good expressions in your face and not like make like weird or just like random dumb faces.
So if you were trying to tell me something and I rolled my eyes, let's say I went like this, right?
Yeah.
Rolled my eyes, how would that make you feel?
Sad.
Right. Sad, right? Okay. Have you ever tried to get your point across and for some reason you couldn't? Like somebody did something or it was just hard for you?
Yeah.
What happened?
Like sometimes like people do things that like I don't like,
Mm-hmm.
and then like I just like, kind of like get away. And like just like get
Okay.
away.
You like it away?
No, you get away.
You get away. Okay, yeah, sometimes that's the right thing to do. Have you ever felt like you were trying to say something and the person you were talking to wasn't really listening to you?
Yeah.
What effect does that have on you?
Like sad, not really sad, but like I'm trying to talk to you. Like, can you please like listen?
Okay.
Like that kind of thing.
How about have you ever really been angry and you were trying to tell somebody that you were angry or something like that? Is that hard?
Not really.
And what do people do that might make that situation a little bit worse?
Like make it matter.
They might get madder. Okay. What-
Like there's this boy that used to would like sit by me. His name's Camden, and he would always drive me nuts. He would talk to me like during the teacher was talking, and like he would always bug me and say, "Oh, look at this! Oh, look at that!" And I was like, "I'm trying to learn here."
Did you actually say that? I'm trying to learn, or could you be quiet?
I'll just ignore him.
Okay. Sometimes that's the right thing to do, but what if somebody was really persistently doing something that kept you from listening? What's something you could do to try to get them to stop that you think they would really get?
Like, please stop! You're driving me crazy. Like,
Okay.
please quit.
Okay. Or maybe you could just say, sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but
But can you stop?
yeah, that's right. I think that would be really good. Is there any advice you want to give about communicating?
Be nice.
Very good. Thanks, Lacey.